What's going on, friends? Hope everybody's having a great weekend here in the great state of Alaska and across the country. Um, just kind of wanted to come on. It's been a little bit since I've done one. As soon as my cats will leave me alone, they've missed me all day. Um, so just wanted to come on real quick and share some thoughts and some stuff that I've seen happen the last few days, the last week, and just kind of give, I guess, some insight or how I see things, um, and what we got going on and what we can look forward to, hopefully. Um, so, as most of you know, we just got done with the municipal election for mayor, and it's looking like pretty positive that Dave Bronson is going to be our next mayor. It's not completely official, but it's looking really good. So, um, the Anchorage people that went out there and voted, Eagle River people, Girdwood, everyone around that's in the municipality, they did their job. They spoke very loudly that it's time that this city turns direction, basically makes a U-turn and starts going in a little bit different way, different direction, a new direction than what the city had previously been going in the last two administrations. I think that the citizens of the city spoke very loudly. They are tired of the crap that they've seen. They're tired of the assembly and the mayor ruining businesses. They're tired of the city not staying open and all that good stuff. So I think that a lot of hard work got put into this, and I think it's something that everybody that's out there can be proud of, that's voted for Dave Bronson. So congrats, my hat's off to you. I think that I think Dave's got some good things in the works. I think he's got some good ideas, and hopefully we can all get back to work and we can all get back to some kind of normal lives now that this is all over and done with. So the assembly, not wanting to give Dave a win, essentially right off the bat, eliminated the mask mandate, eliminated the mayor's emergency order, and basically now the stores are starting to open up and people are going out and going to Costco and stuff without masks on. You're able to see people smiling again. You're able to see just a whole different attitude of people. The one thing that shocked me today, not even in a store, just out walking around and doing the things that I do, people that wear masks are treating people that don't wear masks completely different now. Now you're not the enemy. Now you're not a Nazi. Now you're not whatever. It's almost as if the assembly gave the citizens of Anchorage a dog whistle to basically not act a fool, because now that we have a new basically chief in charge, that's going to change things. And many of these assembly members have an election coming up this next year. They've seen how irritated the citizens of Anchorage were with how things are going, and I have a feeling a few of those assembly members are a little bit worried about their chances of getting reelected next year, and as well they should. I mean, there's been some things that's happened this last year that it has raised a lot of eyebrows. There's been a lot of things said that should have never have been said. There's been a lot of actions that have happened that should have never happened, and unfortunately, you know what? Elections have consequences. We all know that. With that said, we still have a lot of work to do. We got Dave Bronson elected, essentially, and we still have a lot of work to do with the school board and with the assembly. So there are two events this week that we need to make sure that we attend, hopefully in full force, because we now have a new school board that was elected during this last basically primary election. So we have to go in and first of all introduce ourselves as citizens, because we have to keep them honest. We have to let them know that we're not going to allow them to just blindly do things to the kids in the city. And we want them to be able to, let's put it this way. We don't want them dictating what the kids learn. That's the parents, that should be on the parents' decisions. You know, that should be the parents, and they should be working with the parents. And if anything, you know, replacing the mayor with a conservative mayor, which is what has happened, should be a screaming example of what happens when the city gets upset with the people that are leading it. We've seen it last election, not the primary that just happened, but for last summer. A lot of the state legislators got replaced. When the citizens of this state and this city get upset with the people that are leading it, they replace them. And I am proud to see that, because the only way that we're going to be able to get things going in the right direction and keep it going the right direction is to make sure that we replace politicians. I think it was said best by one of the presidents that the best way that politicians should be replaced like diapers, very often, very frequently. So, and yeah, I misquoted that, but they're like diapers. I mean, they're full of crap, and they need to be changed out regularly. So I think that the city and the state has done that, and I'm proud to live here again. This last couple of years living here, it was kind of cringeworthy with a lot of the stuff that's going on, and I witnessed a lot of it for myself going to the assembly every week. That they had a meeting, and got a chance to get in front of some of these people. Some of them, yeah, I respect all of them for winning their races and getting up there and doing the stuff. I don't respect their policy, and some of them I don't really respect them just because they don't listen. We've been in there for the last year screaming and hollering and saying that the citizens don't want this stuff, and they've turned a blind eye to every one of us. It doesn't matter. Well, you know what? We turned around and we showed them that, yeah, we are sick of this. And the citizens here spoke very loudly by replacing the mayor with Dave Bronson rather than Dunbar. So it goes to show you, when we all stick together, folks, good things can happen. So, and I'm sure that the people on the other side, I'm not trying to rub this in your noses. I'm not trying to do any of that kind of stuff. But you know what? When we say enough's enough, we mean it. We don't need to be, we don't need to be treated differently than we treat you. For the most part, I don't know anybody that I've treated poorly. I mean, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. I react to the way someone approaches me, and I'm the friendliest guy that you'll ever meet. I mean, I run a business that's in the public eye, so that's my job, is to be nice. I'm fair, and if someone treats me fairly, I treat him back fairly. And I've been on a couple community council meetings. I've been called all kinds of different names, and you know what? I haven't called anybody names. Not in those community council meetings. I've been just as professional as I can possibly be. Even when I've had a resolution that I put forward and got called all kinds of names for putting it forward, even though it was never meant to be what they claimed it was, I sat there and took it. You know what? And I even thanked some of them for their opinions. And that's exactly what they are, their opinions. I had an opinion. I wrote down something that I thought was relevant to the city. They didn't think so. Well, thanks for your opinion. Doesn't mean that it went through or anything else. I did get a community council that did put it through, and it was read in front of the assembly, which I was kind of proud that it was. And I had an assembly member actually help me write that, and most people would would be shocked at which one it was that helped me write it. But I had a small section of it. The rest of it was them. So you know what? Like I said, I can work with anybody as long as there's mutual respect one way or the other. With that said, the school board is going to be a challenge. We just had a big flip-flop on the people that were in there. So tomorrow at 6 p.m., there's a school board meeting in Anchorage. And here's what I want you to do. If you're planning on going tomorrow morning, or tomorrow before 2 o'clock is what I should say, call the school board and say that you want to speak if you want to testify. And get on a list. And then when you go there at 6 o'clock, they'll have a list and they'll call people. Now, I don't know if it's changed because the new board members have taken over. I don't think it has. I can't see that it would. But call and get yourself put on the list before you go. And there's a few people that are on the school board that I think are, I'm not going to mention any names because there's no point in doing that. We haven't been in front of these people yet, so it's time for us to do that. Now, when you go, I want you to be nice. I want you to come up with some decent testimony. I don't want you going in the railing on these people first, because you know what? They are citizens of Anchorage. They do have their opinions, and they have they have their ways that they want to run the school board. They have their ways that they want to run the schools. So, we have to persuade them. We have to come up with decent, intelligent arguments to get them to listen and maybe change their ways. Anybody can be swayed. I've had friends that are completely opposite of what I am, and you know what? I can still have a conversation with them. That's what's best about this country, is you should be able to, whether you agree with somebody or not, you should be able to at least sit down and converse with somebody and come up with different opinions and different ideas and go with which one's best. I hope that the school board members that are in there understand that, because you know what? That's how we move forward. The kids and stuff that are in there, a lot of them I coach in bowling and things like that, and they're very, very in tune with how you guys are running things, and they're very in tune with what's going on in society today. So keep that in mind. I took a group of kids, high school bowling kids, to the school board, a month and a half ago, and they had no problem showing up. And that just took, a day or two to organize. So my suggestion to the school board is listen to the people that show up, the ones that are willing to put their time in and willing to get in front of you, and listen to them entirely. That's my one piece of advice to everyone there. Whether you agree with what they have to say or not, listen to them, be attentive. Don't be on your phones, don't be on your computers. Be attentive, listen to them. Because I tell you right now, a lot of times whenever we're in front of the assembly, there's a lot of background things going on, and we notice it, we see it. So I look forward to getting in front of a few of you. I look forward to speaking to you both in testimony and in person. There's a few of them that I have conversed with through Facebook, through Messenger, through texting. I respect their opinions. I respect some of the things that they talk about and what they speak about, but actions are bigger than words. So I'm hoping that your actions translate into actual good policy, I guess is the best way to put it. Not a big fan of making the kids wear masks. I will be honest with you. I think that's pretty atrocious. You're telling the kids, the ones that are less likely to get COVID, that they have to wear a mask all day long. And I think that's kind of atrocious. The rest of the city's opened up now. You can go into Costco. You can go into just about anywhere that in the city. Now, there are some places that want you to wear masks. That's fine. That's their prerogative. That's their business. You know what? But it's also our right to not spend money there. So, keep that in mind. One second here. I'm going to look at one of the comments. Let's see here. What heads up if this is posted school board meeting? They may send popos to your work Thursday to arrest you for trespassing. If it's a thing these tyrants do. That was Dustin Darden. I just want to be able to send people in there that can testify, that can come up with good arguments, that can come up with good solutions. and I hope that the school board listens. You know, it's not a threatening thing. It's nothing, anything like that. I think that it's time that the new school board members get to hear from the public. I mean, it's their introduction to the public. So, you know, why can't we go in there and address them? I think that that's no different than going to the assembly. You know, these people are basically dictating what our children can and can't do, and the stuff that they're being taught in school. So I think that it's a good idea that the citizens of Anchorage get in there and get to meet them. Some of them have been board members before. I think Pat Higgins has been a board member before. The president is new, Carl Jacobs, he's new. The rest of them, I don't really know that much. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I hope that it's a good meeting. I hope that some things get covered and go from there. Tuesday, there is another assembly meeting. And, you know, I think the citizens are getting kind of used to going there, man. I mean, I really do. I appreciate seeing the same people that go and put their passion and their drive and stuff like that into their testimony. Some people that had never testified before this year are doing an excellent job going in there and having intelligent arguments, and it's good to see them in there every year or every week. Louis Imbriani has come across just phenomenally. I mean, the guy has, every week he goes in there and he's got something new, he's got something relevant, and he's paying attention. And I think that the citizens of Anchorage are all paying attention a little bit here or there now. I think that they're getting more viewership on YouTube and stuff like that. They may not all be going in to testify, but they are paying attention. They're seeing what's going on. There has been a few things that were a little bit, hopefully when the new mayor takes over, hopefully they can fix the election process a little bit more, because there were some things that happened election week, last week, that kind of left a few of us scratching our heads a little bit. You know, this is supposed to be a very clear process. And there was some stuff that happened down at the election office that has a lot of people scratching their heads. Unused ballots being dropped off, people hanging around the building a lot longer than what they were told, people getting sent home at 9:30 and people still there at 11 o'clock. You know, there's some stuff there that's a little bit, you know, it's not real on the, what I would say, on the up and up. But, you know, we've gotten fortunate, and the vote's been tallied so far, and it looks like everything is coming out okay. Now, I'm not saying that anybody that was there was doing anything wrong or illegal or anything like that, but it does scream, you know, really loudly that some stuff could really happen. You know, there's been a couple different places that have reported on it, and it's, I don't know. You know, I think that they could have been handled a little differently. I mean, if you got unused ballots and they have Bronson and Dunbar's name on them, why weren't they destroyed election night? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense that they would last past election day. There's no reason that those need to be saved. I mean, I get it that you're probably recycling those, but yeah, they probably shouldn't be in the building with votes that are being counted. That's just kind of. And then the one video that was out there showed someone walking around and opened the side door, so the building itself wasn't secure. Yeah, that's not real great either. I don't know. It just leads to a lot of speculation. It leads to a lot of people that don't think that the election's secure. So, in fact, I think there's people down there right now watching to make sure that it stays secure. So, I mean, when citizens have to stand up and go down and do that stuff, what's that tell you? You know, I'm glad that there are people willing to go down and do that. It's important. I know that there's been observers from both sides, you know, in there watching the count. And, you know, I give them props, both sides. I give them both props. I was an observer for the election day, and the ladies that were in there, that was taking care of the election. They were all very nice people. I actually, conversed with a couple of them, and they were very, very nice. I didn't have any problems at all. I was quiet. I just kind of did my thing. And there was one point where they ran out of pens, and I went over and helped them get pens. Um, and the lady that was handing the pens out was a little bit busy and couldn't do it, so I got one of the other ladies' attentions and made sure that the people coming in had new pens. So it was just you know lack of a cliche word. It was kind of nice to be able to sit through and watch the process and see the people come in to vote. There were a few people that came in that were a little upset about the mail-in voting. They would rather vote in person. I understand it. I turned my stuff in a day or two before, but I made sure I drove it down myself and put it in a box. I didn't mail it. There's just a lot of risk with mail-in voting. I don't like it. I think that it does open it up to allow more people to vote, but I don't like the concept of votes out there just floating around in the mail. I hate that idea. I think that people should be able to come in and vote in person. Make it a week. That's have it to where it's a week. Open up the election offices for a week and let them come in and vote in person. It started on Friday or Monday and run it through Friday or whatever, and that gives everybody ample time to come in and put their vote in person. The one thing that I watched when I was an observer, and I like this, was those that came in had to show their ID, which I could not see being an observer, but I was able to hear that each person gave their address, and that's what they looked them up for, or looked them up by in the computer. So the one thing I did notice, though, while being an observer, which I didn't think was allowable for this election, was there's a few people that were not registered that they allowed to register for this. I thought the cutoff date was they allowed them to register and vote, but the cutoff date was like a week or two before that. So I think that those votes probably didn't count, whichever direction they went. I didn't get to see that. So, make sure that before you're going to cast your vote, whether or not you're registered. Make sure that you get your votes in that way. So I just wanted to kind of come on and give my thoughts about this last week. Congratulations to Dave Bronson, a little early. I know he's been out doing some stuff. He stopped at a lemonade stand earlier today, I believe, and he's already making a difference here in the city by doing that. So props to him for that. Mr. Dunbar is out doing the National Guard thing, or maybe he's back. It's Sunday. Maybe he's back now. But they both fought a pretty good campaign. I know that there was people going around damaging signs. Both sides had that happen. I hope that whoever's doing that gets caught. I really do. I think that that's kind of a black eye on the city. I think it's a black eye on the citizens, and I think it's a black eye for any kind of politics in general. I think it's very, very poor. I don't like the idea. It's happened on both sides. So Dustin's on here. Dustin Darden's on here trolling my page a little bit. Dustin, stop it. It's all good, dude. Anyway, so the two events this week, school board meeting. Also, they're looking for people down at the election office to observe. I don't know if anyone that hasn't done it can do it. I know that I have a badge, so I can probably go down and do it in the morning. And I may do that, hopefully, if I can get down there by 9 a.m. I will try and do it. I think it's a good experience. If you've never done an election and observed or anything like that, it's part of our civic duty. Volunteered for a campaign to do that, and you learn a lot of stuff. I mean, I learned some stuff today, this last week, that I wasn't aware of, and it was a good time. I mean, it was, most people would probably think it's boring, but to me, it was actually a learning experience, and I got to participate in an election. So it was actually kind of cool. And again, the people that were there uh, most likely weren't for my candidate, but at the same time, they're citizens of this country and citizens of this state. And I didn't look at them like they were a competition or anything like that. I looked at them like, it's their right to help out and it's their right to participate in this. So I think if we were to all across the city, if we were all to look at each other like that, I think that we would have a lot better outlook on um, both elections and just regular citizens and our neighbors. I think that we need to. Um, I don't know. That whole "can't we all just get along" thing. It's a lot harder to do when politics are involved. So I wish we could just kind of remove politics from things. Right now, I mean, the news is kind of basically the politics forward and in the forefront when we need to be getting back to being citizens and enjoying ourselves. Um, and I've spent the last, man, I don't know, last 4 years, 5 years doing politics, and it is getting a little old. But you know what? I enjoy the process. I don't enjoy the hatred that comes with supporting somebody and disagreeing with other people. Because people get nasty. People want their candidate to win, and they will say all kinds of crap that, most of the time face to face they won't say. I don't like Zoom meetings. I think that the Zoom meetings are a cop out. I think that, and I understand why they had them, but I think having a face to face meeting is a better way to do things, because then you get a chance to see somebody's mannerisms, you get to see their reactions, you get to see all kinds of different things. And when you're face to face, you can't hide behind the camera and turn the lights off so people can't see you. I think that that's very shady. I think it's very, honestly, chicken shit. Um, we're all grown people. I think that there's Dustin again. Zoom is a communist Chinese platform. Yeah, it was made by it was made by China. Um, oh, Dustin, buddy, you must be bored on a Sunday night and you're sitting here commenting on my video. I love Dustin to death. Dustin was out flag waving with us at Northern Lights and Minnesota. I love seeing Dustin show up at events. It doesn't matter what it is. His spirit is always there with us. He's always got a smile on his face. And he's he doesn't have an agenda. He likes to come out and participate. And Dustin, brother, I enjoy having you around, dude. No matter what it is, even if you're commenting on my stuff and I'm not covering any of that. So I still enjoy you, brother. And I seen you at the assembly the other night, so I'm glad that you're going back in there. That's it's like riding a horse. You fall off, you get right back on. So anyway, folks, tomorrow night 6 p.m. at the school board, the ASD building, and then Tuesday be there early, because I don't know how many, if they're letting people in or not. You do still have to wear a mask, so be prepared for that. It's a little price to pay to get in to say what we got to say. I know that, I'm probably going to get ragged on for that, but it's the truth. I mean, sometimes we got to put up with crap to get our point across. And if you're not willing to do that and you're willing to create a problem, then they're probably not going to let you back in there. I hate that it has come to that, but just wear something in there that's comfortable, I guess. It sucks, but we got to do what we got to do. If we're gonna take the city and put it in the right direction, we're gonna help Dave Bronson get it there. Then we have to sometimes look the other direction, do our thing, get in there, testify, do our stuff. Remember, folks, that it's not just the people that are sitting in that room that are listening to you. It's the people that are watching it online. Same thing with the assembly. There's a lot of people that watch it online. And, you're speaking to them just as much as you're speaking to the people that are in that room. Remember that. So we got to get out there. We got to try and change the city. Dave's going to need a lot of help. I mean, we're not done. And we got the guy we wanted to in there, but he's going to be restricted pretty heavily by the current assembly. And um, this next year, once the assembly elections come up, we're going to have to voice our opinions. We're going to have to get loud again. And we got to make sure that we put candidates in there that can win. That's the key. So the elections that are coming up are in towns that are in areas of town that we don't necessarily do well in. So we definitely need to put some candidates forward that are going to compete, win, and that are going to do some good things on the assembly. We need to balance it at least. If not take it over, we need to at least balance it, and that way that there's an argument in there. Dustin says win bigly. Bigly. Man, we need to give Trump a friggin' we gotta give Trump a dictionary. I don't think Bigley's in the dictionary. That's a Trumpism right there. We got to recall the tricky six and the clerk. Yeah, well, is the clerk, is that an appointed position? Kind of wondering. I wish Dave well on picking his appointments for his administration. That's not an easy job. He's going to be busy right off the bat. So, I'm sure he's going to be needing input from a lot of people, and he's going to hit the ground running. And I pray to God, I hope we have a fight. We have on to fight Dunbar. Exceptional. Well, we have one to fight Dunbar. Okay, good. We also have one to take Weddleton's post also. Stephanie, I'd be interested to find out who that one is, because that's my area. So do me a favor, send me a private message on that one. That's on the Weddleton. So definitely interested on the Weddleton one. Dunbar, I think I know who that is, but I'm not 100% sure. Clerk channels, yeah, I know. Stephanie, Barbara Jones assembly picks. Okay. The city clerk assembly picks. Gotcha. Thanks for clarifying that, Stephanie. I wasn't 100% sure. Randy Schultz. Okay. I think Randy's a good dude. I don't think there's any issues there. We need to definitely get out front right now and start pushing him. It's never too early to put a candidate out there and start backing the guy. Who represents the East Side? That's a good question. Isn't East Side? It's not Midtown. So who is the East Side? Is that? Let's see. I'm trying to think here. Go for the figurative jugular like a pit bull. I would love to. Unfortunately, we got to find people that are willing to take that stuff on. So, Weddleton is Randy Schultz. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to get out and we need to start pushing Randy a little bit. Get him out in front of public. Let people know. And I think that I think going into the assembly and letting them know. I think Dummy Bar runs the East Side. Is that Dunbar and Peterson? And Peterson's done. I mean, Peterson's on his last term, correct? I think that's the case. So who are we putting in there for Peterson? That's what I want to know. Muldoon is Pete and Forrest. Yeah. So who are we putting in there in place of Pete? That's what I want to know. So I know that. Let's see. Was it? My cats are messing with my damn green screen. I think wasn't it Constant that ran unopposed, and I think Weddleton ran unopposed or something like that. Dude, seriously, I know you miss me, but damn. My cats are just going crazy. All right, come on. I think Weddleton and was it Weddleton and Constant ran unopposed on the last election. Gotcha, Stephanie. Okay, cool. If any, if you know of anybody and you it may not be released yet or whatever, feel free to let me know, and I won't say a word. I think it's important that these people get out in front of people, and so that they're seen, so that they can speak their mind and let things happen. I would love, and I know it probably won't happen, because I'm not exactly the easiest guy to talk to about certain things, but I would love to have Dave on my show. I would love to have Dave come on and just chat with things and congratulate him in person on here. And I think me and Dave have a good relationship. The guy's always been phenomenal to me, and he's just a great guy. Period. So that's why he had my vote. Um, I think that he is very, very well spoken. So I'm very proud of that. I'm hoping that the other candidates we have echo what Dave is. I really do. Texted me. Okay, you should ask him. I might do that. It's pretty easy to get on here. It's just you just go on Zoom, and then I just transfer you into my video, and it's pretty easy. I'd love to talk local stuff. So I think Dave's one of those guys, and I've said it on here before. I'll say it again. And I'm sure it's like a broken record to some of you. You've probably heard it all before. When I had COVID, Dave also was going through that as well. And I was nobody, and he contacted me and asked how I was doing. And the thing is with Dave is, even though I'm a nobody to most people here in Anchorage, to Dave I'm somebody, and that made me feel good. That showed that he cares, and I felt the same way with him. I was checking to see how he was doing, and Dave's the guy I could see myself going hunting and fishing with. Maybe having a shooting contest, see who's the man. I'm a pretty good shooter, even with bad vision. I'm pretty good. So never know. We might see each other at the range one of these days, and he's going to need a couple days after dealing with the assembly and the city issue. So I might have to take him to the range. But no, I think it's important that we really honor Dave by supporting Dave. He's done a great job. And you know what? And it's not just Dave. I tell you what, right now, Dave's team with Stephanie and Bryce and all the people that went out and door knocking, all the people that went out calling people. I got a glimpse of it. I didn't get a chance to do as much as I wanted to because I run a business here in town. But you know what? There were so many people going to the watch party for the election. And there were so many people that were involved. They got little awards and stuff from the people running the election. It was amazing. Yeah, I was a part of it. I enjoyed it. The little parts that I got a chance to do. I did a little door knocking one day. Did some calling. Never actually talked to somebody, but I did some calling. I showed up at events and pushed my candidate and enjoyed it and enjoyed the time that I got to spend with the people that were out there doing it. So Bryce was a class act. He's a slave driver. For a young man, he's got a long way to go. And I tell you what, he's got good kid. I say kid because he's quite a bit younger than I am, but he's got a future in this game for sure. So he did a hell of a job. The team's still doing a hell of a job making sure that everything's legit and on the up and up. So to everybody that was involved in the campaign, fabulous job, folks. Fabulous job. And that includes Stephanie. She was the I see everything that happened, and I still think that Stephanie was the driving force. A lot of it. She was a huge driving force in getting him elected. And of course, you can't discount Bernadette and her decisions on this and getting behind Dave, as well as Jamie Allard. A lot of these people got together and talked to Dave, kind of talked him into doing it. And I appreciate you guys doing that. So, there's so many people that have that the city has to thank for having Dave Bronson win this election. Every citizen out there that voted has to thank themselves, pat themselves on the back for changing the direction of the city. Now the work comes. We put in a little bit of work. Now it's a lot of work. We got to get the assembly changed. We got to get the school board to do the right things. So, Stephanie, you had some very, very committed people. I met some wonderful, awesome people in my time doing a little bit of the stuff that I did. So uh, I think that we are in the right direction. We have done the U-turn. Now it's time to stomp on the gas, make the city right, um, and get going. I think that future. Anchorage right now has got a bright future ahead of itself as long as we can continue to keep going in that direction. Um, mhm. Yeah, it's going to be a tough year. It's definitely going to be a tough year because of what we got setting in the assembly right now. Um, and with the community councils and stuff, I think most of them are about ready to take the summer off. So a lot of the stuff that we would normally cover in the community councils is starting to dissipate. So we got to pick that back up whenever the community councils kick back in. We need to hit the ground running. Um, we got to hit the ground running all the way across the board. And the school board, assembly, community councils, we got to keep the activism alive. We can't. Here's the thing that I've seen in other states. You have ebbs and flows, and you have ups and downs, and once you get on a peak, you don't want to go down. You want to continue to rise. You want to go up. So we got to get more people involved. Whatever that means. We got to change hearts and minds. I mean, we do. We got to change how people think, and we have to enlighten them and show them the good things in life. Not to be depressed about little things. And it's important that we. And let's put it this way: I'm a lot more encouraged now than I was before last week. I'm a lot more encouraged because I know that the citizens spoke loudly. They went out there and did their civic duty, even if it was only 30, 32, 35%, whatever the number was. That just shows that we have a lot of people out there that are not willing to go out and stick their neck out and say who they want. So you know what, that's the right to do so. We just got to make sure that when we vote, we have more people that are willing to do it than the other side. So thank you, Chandra. Yeah, I would love to have more people come on here, and I would like to make this a regular thing. I enjoy doing shows. I enjoy talking to people, and I enjoy talking to people from all sides. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter what your race is. It doesn't matter what your ideology is. I love to talk to people. That's part of my job during the day. Is I deal with customer service and stuff like that in my job. I also deal with a lot of machinery, so I get to talk to my machinery. Sometimes they talk back, sometimes they don't. So I have a lot to say because I'm usually hiding behind machinery, and usually they're pretty quiet. So anybody wants to come on, and I'd love to have Dewey Wells on here. I mean, he was him and Dewey and Andy Kreiner, man. I tell you, how about those two guys, Andy and Dewey? Those two guys, they stood up for the city. They stood up for Dave. They opened up the restaurants to him. And I mean, there's been a couple times I've gone by Little Dipper, and Dave's sitting in there eating lunch and having a business meeting with people. So it's almost like Dewey's place kind of almost became like headquarters with lunch. And I know that he was doing the same thing with Andy Kreiner. It's who's operating the restaurant named Dustin and Dustin? I don't know. Who's operating? Is there a restaurant named that? Dustin, I think that'd be kind of cool. Who's opening? Who's opening the restaurant named Dustin and Dustin? Not me, because I hate to cook. I've been there, done that. No, that's not me. No, my wife won't let me, but thank you. Yeah, not a problem. I'll come down there and chat with you like I always do. Dewey, brother, you're awesome. I appreciate you more than you would ever know. Yeah, I really do. I feel like you're family, dude. I really feel like that. So, let's see who else we got on here. Louis would be great to have to come on here. I think Louis would be an awesome person to come on. I know Louis well, and I think he's a good dude. I think Jim Wojciechowski or whatever I can't pronounce his last name. I think Jim would be another great guy to come on. I would invite the assembly members to come on. I think that, having a conversation with me, even though our political ideologies are not the same, I think that, coffee time with Tank would be kind of cool. The A Team and Dominion. Yeah, I'm not even going to go into the Dominion thing. We all kind of know that that's a little hokey, but just it's somebody that's got way too much power in elections, I think. Period. I think having people come on. I'd love to have an officer, an APD guy, or several of them come on. I think having that, having conversations with those guys and hearing from them how this, and maybe I can't, maybe they won't do it, but it'd be nice to know what they see different, maybe a year down the road, what they see different between this administration and the last one. I think that'd be a really good not transition, but I think it would be a very good visually to see, what they're allowed to do now and what they would be allowed to do in a year. I think that'd be awesome. Because I know that there's a lot of them, and it's people that I talk to, it's officers that I talk to that come into my business because we usually have to call for, someone hanging outside that shouldn't be out there, things like that. We've had people sleeping on our front sidewalk, stuff like that, and we don't want to go out there and wake them up. We don't know how they're going to react, so we usually call an officer to come and run them off, or they never arrest them, they just run them off, trespass them, whatever. But talking to them, a lot of them were behind Dave, and I'm really glad to hear that. And a lot of them's hands are really tight on a lot of stuff. They sign up to be an officer to, help keep, law-breaking citizens, I should say, at bay and protect the public, the public at large. So I think having an officer after the administration starts and stuff to see, if the ties have been broken so that they can go out and do stuff. I think that would be huge. Could we join one, AFCR and you, and update on acreage situation? Yeah. Chandra, basically what you would do is you would look me up on, I don't like doing Zoom because it slows my computer down. But if you were to do you could come on, what did I just said it. I can't remember the dang name of it. If you wanted to come on and do it, you'd call into Skype, and I would just run you into the video. You would basically be on video with me. You'd hear what I'm saying, and I would hear what you're saying, and the audience would hear everything. And I would superimpose you over the flag. It would look a little bit different than it does now because you don't have a green screen or whatever, so it'd end up being your background. So whatever your background you wanted it to be. Chandra, I would love to have you on. Any of you, anybody that's on here watching this right now, I would love to have you on. It's just having a conversation. Right now, I'm kind of talking to you guys and looking at your comments. But it would be great to have you guys on. I know that there's a lot of legal stuff that's going on, and Chandra is a part of that, and it would be great to have Alaskans for Constitutional Rights on this page. I think it'd be a great, absolutely. Set it up with Lewis. I've got no problem putting you on, and we can do an hour, 2 hours, whatever. Sometimes I try and set it for an hour, but sometimes it ends up being like 2-3 hours. Just depends on how far down the rabbit hole you want to go, and how much information you want to give out. Yeah, I'm aware of a lot of that stuff. So I'm not divulging any of it because it's not my place to do so, but I would love to have Alaskans for Constitutional Rights on here, someone representing that group. It's fun to do. I mean, to be honest with you, doing a podcast or doing a video like this is great to have other people. I can have up to 4 people. I can put each one in each corner, and we can have like a roundtable kind of discussion. I'd love to do that with someone from the other side too. I have no problem doing that. You know, I can defend myself. I can defend others. I can dish it out as well as receive it. So, um, sweet. Louis would be great to have on. I would love to have him on. Very well spoken young man. I say that, I don't know how old he is, but he's younger than me. So I'd love to have Louis on. He represents a lot of us very well. And I'm very pleased to have met him and have gone to a few of his meetings. And I think he would be a great asset to. I'm hoping eventually maybe Louis will run. Honestly, I don't know if he'll ever want to do that, but I think Louis would be a great asset on the assembly. He's got a very level head, very good demeanor. I think he would be a great person to have on the assembly. And he's the kind of person. I think he would be a great person to converse with on there. I think he would pay attention. I think that he would. He's both empathetic and sympathetic to certain things, but I think that he's intelligent enough to where he could run this pretty easily. So, my vote for Louis Ambriani for assembly. Oh, he's very dedicated. Yes, and what I like about it is it started off where he was, he was advocating for the hockey teams, and it's escalated. And he's got a good position that he's in too. I mean, he's got a good background. The position he works in is excellent for a lot of the stuff that he knows. So, and I really appreciate him. And there's a lot of other guys that I appreciate and women that I appreciate that go to the assembly. I see them there every week. There's Louis, there's Jim, there's oh God, the chiropractor. I can't remember his name. Someone remind me his name. I'm killing myself here. Just to continue on what he's on right now. Okay, good. Well, I think he's got a future in politics, Stephanie. I think he does. He may not be ready for it yet, but I think he's got a future in politics. He's proven himself very worthy so far, I think. Mike, I think. No, it's not Mike. Man, oh man, I cannot remember his name. It's gonna kill me. I'm looking at my phone because I got his number. Man. There's a few other people. Let's see here. I'm looking at my texts because I know that we've texted back and forth a few times. We got Mark Nussbaum. He's kind of gotten involved. I actually spent some time with him yesterday while we were at the public auction. So Mark's a good dude. Let's see if I can find the. Oh, where's it at? Man, I cannot remember his name. It'll come to me as soon as I quit the video. We have a lot of people that are going to the assembly that are testifying. I think would make great. No, not Jesse Foster. It's not Jesse. Great minds think alike, Stephanie. You asked him yesterday. Great minds think alike. I think that well, he's a good organizer. You know, I mean, Louis has gotten a bunch of people together a few times, like once a week. Actually, quite a few times, once a week. Man, okay, it's gonna kill me. I gotta look it up. Let's see here. I'll find him. It's gonna kill me if I don't remember his name. I can think of his face. I can see him. I know that we have a good Russell Biggs would be another guy that I think is done an excellent job. I don't know about him getting in and doing anything on the assembly, but Russell is a huge asset. Oh, let's see. Where do I got here? There's a lot of people I think that would be great people on the assembly. Man, where is it at? There's a couple people in my area that I think would be great. Grace Green and my community council, I think she would be awesome. She's a great advocate. Oh my Lord. I can't find him. I know he's here somewhere. We also need to get some people on the school board. So, you know, there's a lot of other people that I think we would benefit here in the town, in the city. And I think that we also need to start looking for the next election for school board. We got to get people in there. And you know, the problem that we kind of run into is we get them out there a little late. You know, people don't know who they are. And you know, we don't know, you know, if they're not out there and people don't know them, it's hard for people to get behind them. Luckily, you know, I think Dave came along at just the right time. I think that was a huge blessing. Oh, come on. I know that he's here somewhere. Ugh. Man, I cannot find the guy that I'm looking for. I'm going to shoot myself for this. Anyway, he's been up there at the assembly. He always has good testimony. He always brings facts. He always brings good stuff. Oh my Lord, I cannot remember. Well, I can't find him on here. Shoot. Anyway, Bernadette Hannafin, thank you. God, Mike Hannafin. Thank you. God, why couldn't I think of that name? Michael Hannafin, thank you very much, Jared Dunbar and Chandra Coffee. Yes, Michael Hannafin is I think he's a pretty well-spoken guy. I kind of like Michael. There's been a few other people that also have shown up there. There's enough people in the city. I don't know exactly where everybody lives. I know there's a lot of people that go to the assembly that are in my district or in my local area, which is South Anchorage. So we need people on the east side. We need people on the west side. We need people in Midtown, and we need people out in Constance area, I guess. You know, there's a lot of areas we have to cover, and if we can't do it, then, you know, if we can't get them all, we need to at least balance the assembly. Yeah, Bernadette is definitely on fire. She does a great job. Another very well. Why don't we get her to sit on the assembly? I think Bernadette would be great. I'm sure she could put a few of them in their place. I guarantee you, if Bernadette ran wherever it is she ran, she would probably win. I almost guarantee you she would win, just because, you know, she's a well-known public figure here in the city. So, Bernadette Wilson for assembly, put her in there. Her and Jamie would have a heyday, I swear. All right, folks, I'm starting to run out of stuff to say, but thank you for indulging me. Anybody that wants to come on and just chat and just kind of BS a little bit, let me know. Send me a text. I completely understand that, Stephanie. Completely understand. You know, your kids have got to come first. The one thing I would say on the other side of that is, you know, I don't know if her kids are wanting to stay in Anchorage or in Alaska. Remember, the future is just as important as the present. So if we want to make this city better in the long run, we need people to know that it's going to keep moving the city in the right direction. So I completely agree, though. I understand where she's coming from. It's tough whenever you got kids. It really is. It's hard. And not only just to run for an office, but also to the stuff that they see other people say about, you know, a parent or whatever. It's got to be hard. So I understand. It's definitely not easy. With that being said, folks, I'm going to get off here. I've been on for roughly an hour, so I need to get some food in me and get ready for bed, because I may try and make it down to the election office tomorrow and see if I can't give a hand observing and see what we do from there. Hopefully 9 to 11 is what I'm looking at doing. So that's the goal. anyway, we'll go from there. But anyway, everybody, love y'all. Congratulations on making Anchorage start to head their at least do a U-turn, head a different direction. To Mr. Bronson's campaign team, congratulations on an excellent campaign. And we're definitely going to follow that yellow brick road. All right, folks, we love y'all. Take it easy, and hope to see you out there on the at the assembly and at the school board. We need you there. So get out there and let's just keep the momentum going. Love y'all. Peace out.